Today I will discuss the case that is against me and of which I am not allowed to get a trial from my district attorney, because yes, there's only law for certain people and for other people just not allowed to have their fair trial. Anyway, this is your favorite half Chinese. I will discuss the police things. The first, I believe it's like 27 or 29 questions is just normal, like, well, normal, who are you, whatever, financial situation, etc. Then it says, when it comes to the case, but most of these questions have literally nothing to do with the case itself. So he is asking, can you tell me what you have been accused of? What? Now, mind you, when I got the letter, they only told me that I was accused of something and asked me to come. Why would they ask me that? So then he asked me, how do you think of the political climate in the Netherlands? Why would you ask somebody that? Nothing to do with my case. And that is why I'm saying, or I feel like, or I will say, this is political persecution, allegedly. All right? I have to say it like this now. People told me. So, and then they asked me, would you like to change it? Like, as if I am capable to do that. Nothing to do with my case. Again, how do you look at the world today? Again, nothing to do with my case. But it says it concerns my case. What would you like to change in the world? Just imagine. At this moment, I'm sitting there probably maybe an hour, because I was all in total was like 2 hours there. So this is already over 30 questions later. And I still don't know what I actually have been accused of. I'm just wondering, like, why would people ask me these kind of questions, right? And then, how do you look at China? Like, what the hell? I was literally there. What do you mean? Oh, how do you look at China? So, well, it's a different country. But positive, negative? I said, well, I'm not negative about it. Why would I be negative about another country, right? What would you like to change there? Asking me what I would like to change in China. What does it have anything to do with my case? Remember, the police literally writes Zaaksgericht. It means this is considering the case. Mind you, I'm already there sitting like probably over an hour wondering, what am I doing here? How does China look at the Netherlands? As if I would know anything, right? Like how they would look at the Netherlands. I mean, seriously. Have you been on a vacation to China? Do you feel bonded with China, or do you feel a bond with China or whatever? Do you see how this all of a sudden switches to racial things, right? Are you active on the internet? If so, on which websites or apps are you? How much do you make use of this daily? What are your usernames? Well, maybe the username would have something to do with my case, right? So far, one question we found, right? That might circumstantially, because he must estimate that I have that account, right? Do you think that you know a lot about China? This is again non-case related. Why would that be? Why so many questions about China? Ridiculous. What makes it that you are a China expert? I never said that I was a China expert, right? None of my videos ever make the claim that I am a Chinese expert. So yeah. Then he asks, what are the Uyghurs? On which internet forum did you place something about Uyghurs? What do Uyghurs mean to you? What? See, all these things, what does it have to do with my case? What another ethnic group means to me? What does the Uyghur flag mean for me? What? And then he's starting to talk about a flag. Then ask me if there is a Uyghur flag for me. I already answered that question when he was talking about the Uyghur flag, because I asked him specifically, what Uyghurs are you talking about? Are you talking about the Uyghurs of China? He said, yes. Well, they don't have a separate flag. So, yeah, that's a law in China. You're not allowed to have another different flag. By the way, the flag that these people are using is banned in China because it is related to terrorism, allegedly, according to China. So, yeah. And I said allegedly, so please don't sue me. What does this mean for you? Like, honestly, he asked me about the Uyghur flag. What does it mean for me? Like, I'm literally flabbergasted. Does the ETIM also have their own flag? It still has nothing to do with my case. You will understand why later. Does the Uyghur flag and the ETM flag are they the same? ETIM is indeed a terrorist organization, he says, but not all Uyghur is a member of ETIM. And that is why you cannot say that all persons that have that flag are terrorists. And I also never said that. In fact, most of my videos that I talk about these things, especially when it is sensitive material like this, I always say that Islam and Uyghurs, most of them have nothing to do with it. Right? So that's framing. I think they try to frame it for the court to make it look like that I think like that, right? Who is Hera Butt? Who is Alek Ablikim? Well, those are the two people that accuse me of defamation. And they are all from the party of GroenLinks at that time that they were accusing me. And then he says, you called them both terrorists and have placed this on the internet. Why did you do this? I never said that. I literally never said that one of the two were a terrorist or a member of a terrorist group. Nowhere in the video. You can find that. Nowhere. I never do those kind of accusations. It's not my style. The only person that I might have one time accused of terrorism probably would be Osama bin Laden. But I think that everybody agrees that he was a terrorist. I mean, I never make those kind of accusations unless somebody has been proven by the court that he was, and it is well known, right? So Ablikim is accusing you or for the fact that I called him a terrorist, right? Because he was waving the Uyghur flag. I never said that. I never said that. So it's not in my video. And then he says, what is the purpose of placing your videos? That might be considered for the case, because if the purpose is to make somebody look really, really bad, or specifically, or whatever, I don't know, then it might be defamation. I only do informative videos. I just make informative videos. So it's not specifically about them. If these things can be placed on the internet and many people will look at it and it doesn't, and it is not correct, then it will be defamation, whatever, blah, blah, blah. What is your reaction on it? Well, he and me also looked at a specific article that I also had in my video, where these exact terrorists were holding the exact same flag. And he admitted that it is exactly the same flag. So it is a little bit stupid. And then he asked, would you like to add something to it? Well, as you can see, I think there's only maybe 3 or 4 relevant questions of 2 hours being grilled by a detective. But we also have learned what I have been accused of, right? Because the detective says you have called them both terrorists. Both. So that means Herabert and Alak Ablikim. I have not done that. Right? So, yeah. And then, now we get the kicker, right? So remember that they have accused me of me calling them a terrorist, right? Here I have of the district attorney why she is denying me a trial. I have asked an expert of the police to investigate the flag again and to make a dossier, I don't know, process verbal, I don't know how to say it in English. The expert have said that this is a flag of the Uyghur and not a flag of a terrorist organization. And there's something, there should be some extra with it, but there's none. Right? Anyway, then she says, I earlier told you that I would bring the case in front of the judge, because when I was at the DA and she handed me that punishment, I said, no, I don't want it. I want to go to court. This is my right in the Netherlands. This is how it works in the Netherlands, right? And she said, I told you that I would bring the case to the judge. But since my expert has found that it is the Uyghur flag, I will stay with my with my punishment. I will not allow you to go to court. Well, DA, if you don't agree with me, you know how we do these kind of things? You can bring it to court. That is why you have a court. You say it is like that. I say it is not like that. In court, with a judge, we will discuss that. That is how it goes in a free democratic country where there is a rule of law. What you would have in a typical fascist authoritarian state is that you have a DA that will give you punishment without a trial. That is typical authoritarian fascist. Anyway, I just promised this one so you all know kind of what the police was working with and how many questions just unrelated, right? I actually don't know, probably like between 30 and 40 or 50 unrelated questions. And then you have a DA that is only talking about the flag while I'm being accused of calling other people terrorists, which I have not done. What does the flag have to do with anything accordingly? I'm not being accused of calling that flag a flag of a terrorist organization. I'm being accused of calling people a terrorist. This is literally what the detective told me. But because their so-called expert finds that the flag belongs to Uyghurs, they're denying me a fair trial. They don't even want to discuss it with me at trial. Why do you think that is? Let me know in the comment section and let me know what you all think of this. Do you think this is political persecution? Do you think this is racial profiling? Because considering the amount of questions about me and China and how I find China and blah, 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 China, 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 it's nothing to do with my case. My case is literally here in the Netherlands. Has zero to do with China. Has zero to do with China's political. Am I right or wrong? But this is how they will treat you in the Netherlands if you do not fall in line, if you do not talk the way that the government wants you to talk, allegedly, before I'm being accused or being sued again. Do we all agree that this is actually fascism? Textbook fascism. Now, I cannot quote Mussolini because the book is over there somewhere, but it was something like everybody needs to think like the state wants to think, and everybody who falls out of that will be forced to fall in line. That's classical textbook fascism. Anyway, I'm going on like a rant. I can go on like all day if you want, but I think this is quite enough. Let me know what you all think of this in the comment section. I also have a buy me a coffee. If you want to help to support my work, then you can, but only do that if you are financially very, very stable. If not, then please save your money for yourself or for hard times or for loved ones. Just click the notification button of the subscribe button that you're going to click right now, and the like button and the share button. I will be just as happy as with a nice fresh cup of coffee. Have a great day, everybody. This was your favorite half Chinese.